Hi, hello, and today I am going to discuss about erotic photography and about that experience. You see, when people are shooting erotic photography, they are finding out who they are. Okay, and what that means is, okay, let me just discuss this. Very often, okay, people don't know who they are, right? Because they don't know who they are, they do not sort their own life the way they like it, they do not get the job the one they like, they do not get the partner the one they want, and so on. They do not live where they want, right? So when someone is coming to shoot an erotic photo shoot, it's a very often case that they are going to find out who they are. Okay, the first thing what I've noticed is that very often ladies and men would like to be someone else during the photo shoot. Okay, it is very easy to create erotic photography when they have a mask on, when they have a cover on their face so that no one would recognize them. Okay, I have noticed that when people are struggling to create boudoir photography, nude photography, I would give them to cover their face, to cover their identity, and then they start creating photography. Right? So why does this happen? Why it is much easier to create boudoir and nude photography with the mask on or with the face cover on? Because then they stop pretending. Okay, they stop being someone else, okay, and they then stop playing other roles. Okay, that's what's happening. So erotic photography, it's an X-ray. It's a medium that would show you who you truly are. And especially it's so effective when you are undressing and when you are revealing through you, okay, who you are, undressing, showing your imperfections. There is nowhere to hide. Okay, there is only you and a photographer. So erotic photo shoot is that practice. Is that practice for people to recognize themselves, okay, to see themselves, to appreciate their body, okay, to connect their feelings with their body, their mindset, with their body actions. What I'm saying is to connect. You see, people when they creating erotic photography, and I am telling them to get into the free zone, okay, just feel that freedom, just feel who they are. They start creating ridiculous shapes. They start making crazy moves, okay? They start doing certain things that this is not beautiful. It's not sexy. It's not hot, but that's the energy that it's trapped inside them. So very often when I start erotic photo shoot with people at the beginning, we're shooting nonsense. Okay, so that the people can get rid of those how to say, chains, right? Chains to be perfect. Okay, these are limitations. Okay, to be perfect, to act out, to pretend, to be like someone else. Okay, they often will choose pictures online and then they come to the studio to recreate them. Okay, and there is nothing wrong of, you know, doing a recreation or creating a copy, but erotic photography, it's about you. Okay, it's about not someone who's made a hot and sexy pose and now I want to be that someone, okay, in that pose, and I'm going to recreate and post it. This is ridiculous, right? What I'm saying is you have to create your own stuff, to be your own that personality. And if you want to be sexy, let's find that energy, let's find that vibe, the mode where you are comfortable in, when you are relaxed, when you are get rid of all these insecurities, imperfections, this, you know, obsession of that someone is better or someone is, you know, more prettier or someone is more effective or someone is more focused or someone is more, you know, richer. There is always someone. Okay, erotic photography, it's about you. Okay, it's about you. And when I say that sexuality, it's an energy resource, it's an energy resource for adults. okay? And when they arrive to the studio and create erotic photography with me, very often they pretend, okay? Very often they fake. Sometimes they even fake make love scenes. Okay, there are couples who cannot reach the climax and they want to fake the orgasm, okay, on the camera, on the film, okay? They are not going to, how to say, to put an effort to achieve this by themselves. It is easier to fake. You know what I'm saying here? So I am challenging everyone who comes to my studio because I want a true and real emotion. And I am letting my clients to get rid of this negative information which runs through their system. What that means is someone told you that someone is better than you, okay, that someone is prettier than you, that someone is more successful than you, okay? So people are kind of like machines being programmed and following someone else, okay, and not choosing their own path, cannot find their own path, cannot find their own vibe, cannot find the pose where they are hot and sexy, feeling confident, feeling in their element, okay, and they rocking, right? It's better to go and look at some kind of, you know, picture and recreate it. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not better for you. Okay? Yes, it is a photography, and yes, it counts as erotic photography. Okay? Any picture, right, when we create in a sense of undressing and revealing our intimate and private parts would be an erotic photography. Okay? But for me, erotic photography is how that person is feeling on that day. Okay? And if that person is discouraged, if that person thinks that he is not photogenic, if that person thinks that there is something wrong with him, okay, I am here to prove opposite. Okay, everyone is beautiful and everyone can be sexy and everyone can create an hot and sexy images and videos. Okay, so that's an absolute, that's what I believe in. Okay, and today's topic is about being yourself. Being yourself during erotic photo shoot occurs to be a very complicated thing. Okay, for some it is very hard to be themselves. Okay, there are people who are blocked and limited to the way, to the core, that with the face uncovered, right, they can't be themselves. Okay, so I've practiced, like I said, I've practiced covering with the mask, using the mask, using the hood, okay? No, seriously, as soon as you will cover their face, they start being sexual. They go into their authenticity, they go into their energy, and they start performing without shame, without being scared, without being awkward, without being, shamed, without, feeling guilty, right? So imagine what it takes. Okay, for so many people, right? There are couples and there are individuals who are connected with themselves, connected with their mind and with their body. And when they come to an erotic photo shoot, they want to be them, okay? They don't want to look at anyone else. They say, I want to be me, and I want to experiment with me, with my body, with my feelings, with my emotions. That's great. Okay, but this video is about the majority. Okay, this video is about the majority don't know how to be themselves. Okay, they're playing certain parts, they how to say, they taking certain roles. Okay, they grown out of those parts, they grown out of those roles. Okay, and erotic photo shoot proves them that they are not in control of their life, okay, or even of their body. Okay, why I'm saying this? Imagine when you are creating erotic photography, which is all sensual, right? And then the person is not able to take a certain position, a certain, how to say, to perform in a certain way, right? And when you shoot that person, it looks funny, It looks funny. It just, for men, it is a very clear indication. Imagine when we're shooting nude photography and erection shots. And even the person is absolutely turned on and saying, yes, I would like to try an erection shot, but erection is not happening. Okay? That is a clear indication. Okay, for men, you can clearly, visibly see that mental state and physical state is disconnected. Okay? It's like going and driving a car, right? And taking right, and the car is going still straight. Okay, no matter how much you turn the wheel to turn right, your car is going straight. Okay, that's what's happening. And there are many examples like that, when people clearly see, okay, after they take an erotic photo shoot, how much they are disconnected. So erotic photography, it's not only about sexy pictures. Okay, people think that, oh, this is only, very open-minded, very kinky people are doing. No, erotic photography is the indication, okay, when after a photo shoot you will get the full analysis of how you feel, what is your state mentally, okay, what is your state physically, and what is your state emotionally. Okay, that's the information that you will get after erotic photo shoot with me. Okay, and if you are disconnected, that's exactly what you would see. My job is to create successful erotic photography. Okay, and when people are disconnected, physically or mentally, I can recognize this. Okay, we shoot a lot of tests, we have a lot of goals, right? My goal is to reach the best result with everyone, right? So when people are disconnected, most of the time, like I say, they're not being themselves. Okay, they are not allowing themselves to feel certain sensations, not allowing themselves to touch, okay, themselves, not allowing to relax and just go into a sexual intimate mode, okay, when there is someone in present. And you see, when people are not allowing themselves, it's not only sexually they are not allowing themselves and blocking, they're not allowing themselves to experience an orgasm in a certain dimension. Okay, and orgasm is a satisfaction, right? So if they are not allowing physically to feel a satisfaction, they're not allowing themselves, many things in life, in adult life. You see, an adult life is when you can, and when you are, okay, there, and you are on the top of everyone, right? You don't have to listen to anyone, okay? You don't have to serve anyone, okay? An adult life is the place where you're not being nice, okay? Seriously. When you taking care of yourself, right? When you are connected with yourself, and when you are very well aware what you're gonna do, what you want, what you wish, what are your, steps. So when I'm saying is when you are allowing to be you, okay, there are a big auditorium which will arrive to my studio and try to pretend that they are someone else. Okay, and it's much easier, I can tell you. There are so many people who would shoot differently and be more relaxed when they have their face hidden. Okay, so that they don't see themselves, so they're not there, okay, but they're still able to perform. So that's the practice that I do at my studio when I see that people are disconnected and not being themselves. Okay, they're not in the right energy, right? Sexual energy is an adult life resource, and there are so many adults who lack, okay, of energy resource, and they're trying to look everywhere, okay? They're trying to look everywhere, and they remember those times when they had a different vibration, when they had a different, feeling, a taste of life, when they seen life in a different colors, when their body, being connected to everything what they're doing. And sometimes people just go into a stale mode, okay, stale mode. stop themselves, froze themselves, limit themselves, do not allow themselves, okay, and so on and so on. That is very much obvious during erotic photo shoot, okay, because erotic photo shoot and in general erotica is a freedom. Okay, it's a freedom of movement, it's a freedom of your actions, it's a freedom you as an adult allowing to feel certain things for yourself. And you can be by yourself or you can be with your partner. Doesn't matter. If you do not allow yourself to feel certain things and you're limiting and blocking, you can be by yourself, you can be with your partner, it's the same. You are still not allowing yourself. So erotic photography will show that. Okay, when people look at the photographs, they think that these are just sexy pictures. Okay, in the reality, every photography, it's a coding. Okay, and the image coding changes depending on your state. Okay, why I'm saying this, I can tell you, once one couple sent me a pictures and they said that they have an unsuccessful shoot and they want to recreate boudoir couples photography, and they're sending me pictures with what they've got, and I've checked the artwork and there was nothing wrong with the artwork. Okay, the lighting was fine, the posing was fine, nothing I can find that is wrong. Okay, but because during that time, okay, they did not feel that sexual energy, they did not feel that connection, there was no passion between them, okay, desire, they just stand in front of the background, you know, and touch, and this, it wasn't accomplished for them. So when they look at that photography, it has no feeling for them, it has no information, right? Everyone can create erotic photography. If you have a phone or a digital camera, just take your pants off, okay, and take a picture, okay, and that would be an erotic photography. For me, okay, it's not the way I do it, because that person, okay, not the other person, but that person who would do this way, okay, he will read exactly that information, what was captured at that moment, okay. So most of the time, when there is no preparation involved, okay, because to go into sexual, sensual mode takes time, okay, for many people it takes time to open up, okay, it takes time to relax, okay. Why I'm saying open up and relax, you see, when people arrive to a photo shoot and they know that they're going to undress, they're scared and nervous, they are, okay, some feeling shy, some feeling other emotions, but these are all emotions are negative. Okay, when people are in a negative emotion, they cannot be in a sexy mode. Okay, the woman who is shy or scared, okay, is not sexy. Okay, so sexuality is related with confidence. Okay, and confidence, right? We love people in their element. We love people in their zone, okay? We love people in confidence, in authentic vibe, right? So that's what that is, erotic photography, okay? It's an adult, mature energy when you are confident, okay? And when you are sexy. And it doesn't have to be that you're naked. Okay, we see people on the stage and we fancy powerful, hot and sexy, confident energy. Everyone fancy, they fancy something what they don't have. Yeah, most of the time, right? Hi, hello. Today I'm discussing about erotic photography and the struggle to be yourself during erotic photo shoot. Okay, the way we start erotic photography, we start from the moment that we want to be ourselves, right? So I am a photographer, I'm not playing any kind of a role, I'm being myself, a creator, an artist. Okay, I'm not pretending, right? And when I see the person who is trying to act out and pretend in front of me, through that person's energy, I am aware of what's going on. Okay, I am aware that this person wants to be someone else. Okay, I am aware this person is trying very hard for someone else. Okay, forgetting about, being yourself, right? Focus is always on someone else. When focus is on someone else, you are not you. That's the first thing. Okay, you can't be you, right? So when you are someone else, okay, during that photo shoot, of course you would feel emotions that are belong to someone else and not to you. Okay, so it is very important to recognize and realize the truth, right? What are you doing during erotic photo shoot? Okay, is it sincerely your moves related to the way what you feel now? Okay, I am telling them usually move and do exactly, close your eyes and do what you want to do, how you want to express your body. Just move it and do those if you want to shake your body or limbs, shake it. If you want to lay down, lay down. If you want to jump, you jump. You just express yourself and try to be you. And I can tell you the ridiculous things that they are doing at the start to get into that zone, that finally they feel that they are themselves. Okay, they go through a certain transformation, right? And the photography, erotic photography, will show you exactly that. Okay, so there are photographers who will choose a successful shots, 5-10 images, and that's what you get. Okay, depending on what you pay, right? For me, erotic photo shoot is 500 images, 900 images, 1,400 images. It's all 2-hour session. Okay, it's all 2-hour session. There are a lot of images where you could see fragmentations in between the way you transform yourself. Okay, and at the beginning, most of the time, I am observing images when people are stiff, when people are confused, when people are frozen, when people, like I say, trying to be someone else and pretending and playing out the roles. Okay, so at the beginning, usually during erotic photo shoot, is the crucial and most complicated time. Okay, because it's a beginning and people are breaking into the mode, into the vibe, and just start exploring their sexuality when there is someone else, okay, watching, right? Why all these games starting? Because someone else is watching. Okay, someone else is there. And especially when people are terrified when there is a camera pointing at you. Okay, and camera is the gadget, the tool, okay, that I use to actually memorize every moment of change, right? So at the moment, people will see themselves not sexy, okay, maybe beautiful, but not hot and confident and sexy. But my job is, during those 2 hours, transform that human, okay, mindset and physical body state into a confident human being, a hot and sexy, understanding that he is owning it. Okay, that he is in the zone, that he is in this vibe, okay, feeling it 100%. Because when I start feeling, and you know that emotions are contagious, if someone feeling turned on and sexy, you can tell, okay, you can tell, right? When someone is happy, you can tell, okay? When someone is miserable, you can tell. Okay, and when someone is in the sexy zone, relaxed and just, enjoying that experience, of course you can tell. Okay, so that's where I'm going. So erotic photo shoot at my studio experience, of course you can tell. Okay, so that's where I'm going. So erotic photo shoot at my studio, it's a work. Okay, it's an analysis when a human being starting in the form of confused, right, scared and nervous, right, pose or zone, right, and moving towards confident and sexy, yes, individual, right? It's a great transformation. It's a great transformation. What happens is that actually, you see, when we are programmed and we run every day the same programs most of the time, and our programming not always comes from our environment. The programming also comes from our genetic fund. Okay, so that's is the deepest root. What happens is that very often I flip people over into a hot and sexy and confident personality. The programs very often taking over and still coming in and trying to to drag you back, right? So the imagery is that proof, and imagery is that content that they can go into and relive that moment and relive that transformation again and again. Okay, because adults don't want to be anxious, adults don't want to be scared, adults don't want to be embarrassed. Okay, adults don't want to be thinking about them that they are not worthy, they are not photogenic, they are not nice, they are not pretty. There are a lot of how to say negative vibration go through a body and the mind. Okay, and everything what is stored in your mind reflected in your body. Okay, that is why, okay, when you're walking or when you're talking, right, doesn't matter, the face mimicking, okay, the little movements, the way, the way you hold your posture, everything changes. When you go from the scared and closed mind, right, into a confident zone, right, it changes. And people who are creating erotic photo shoot are witnessing it, okay, and can repeat this, transformation again and again when they have this visually shown how it happened. If they are able to do it once, okay, and it's programmed already, recorded in their mind, they're able to repeat this by themselves, okay, anywhere, right, anywhere. So it is not easy for you by yourself, okay, to go into a hot and sexy confident mode, okay, depending on your program. Sometimes the programs are so powerful that they're consuming, okay, they're consuming you. It is very hard to get out of that trap, right? Just every day you're loading in the same routine and again, right? In the same game and playing the same game. Negative emotions, when they are running through your body, they are sucking out your energy. They're draining your energy, okay? So when the human feels hot, sexy, and confident, right? Their energy vibe inside their body changes, right? There is no place for anxiety, okay, in that body. There is no place for shame, okay? There is no place for fear in that body, because that body is confident and sexy, okay? These are two different things. So when people arriving in vibration, when they, scared, nervous, right? You can't take a picture of that personality, okay, a hot and sexy picture, because if I do that, and I did that, right, all they will see is themselves being scared and ashamed, awkward. That's what they will see. This is the coding which you human eyes are not able to recognize, okay? Wi-Fi. Everyone believes in Wi-Fi, okay? Do you see Wi-Fi? No, right? You don't see Wi-Fi, right? Or microwave waves, right? We put the food in the microwave. I do not recommend, right? But I'm just saying, we put the thing in the microwave, and and the water is boiling, right? But we do not see visually with our eyes which waves, performing, right? We don't see. So these elements we do not see, but they're there, okay? So the first challenge which I face during erotic photo shoot, of course, is that transformation, because I believe that erotica is being you. It's about being you, okay? And for many people, it's the hardest thing. It's the biggest challenge. It's the biggest transformation that they have to face, okay? Being themselves, right? So like I said, I usually use a mask, okay, or a hood on the head, right? So if someone wants to make an experiment, right, at the home, okay, they can record themselves, okay, and just just and just let me know when they are performing by themselves, right, naked, which is great, right? And then, you know, just cover your head and see how much more you can do, okay? Because that's the limitation, okay? Recognize the limitation, right? Because when I do this test, I could see that there are so many people are better performing when they're hiding their identity, okay? You always kind of noticed, right, in a couple or in individual that they are holding back, okay? And that is okay, because it's the first time. I allow this, okay? I allow this for a couple, for example, not to smash it and not to go into a full mode. I allow this. They can hold back a little bit, right? But I always say this, that at this moment we are recording your energy, okay? And this energy resource will stay in that content, okay? So what exactly you want to record? Of course, everyone to want to hit the highest mark, right? So the first and foremost, people have to be relaxed, right? People have to get rid of all the negative thoughts, feelings, emotions, to go into a sexual energy resource, right? And the third, they have to be themselves. They have to allow this to happen, right? They have to seriously, consider letting go the handle and letting go, I don't know, the rails, what they're holding to, right? So erotic photography, it's a challenge for many individuals and couples, okay? Because they're facing this challenge. And the majority of us want to be someone else and want to pretend and want to play, you know, different game or whatever game, right? So let me just quickly say hi and answer these questions. I always speak about erotica. This is my topic. This is my passion, right? So I discuss erotic photography about individuals, erotic photography about couples, right? What are the great things, what happened, what kind of the struggles, right? What kind of the problems I see, and how we are fixing everything. So now I'm quickly saying hi, and this video is about being you, okay? Such a hard thing to do, to be yourself. Okay, why is it so hard? Because we are programmed and we're prepared to serve someone else, okay, to look after someone else, to think about someone else, okay, and we just learned that, right? So that's why it is easier to be someone else than being yourself, okay, because that's the program that's running in the okay. First question, Julia, Photoshop the mask your voice is annoying as agent is coming back to Russia. Okay, someone doesn't like my voice, right? What I should say to that person? Okay, I would recommend to go live and record his own voice, okay? Usually the comment comes, you know, from the person who is reflecting, so clearly he dislikes and hates his own voice, okay? That's what I would just say, because I am fine with my voice, okay? So I'm really sorry that you hate your voice. Okay, another thing, let me just check, because you see, when the life happens, people don't know you, and they most of the time do not care. What they talk about is they talk about themselves. Every message, you know, that being sent during the life, it's about them. Okay, it's not about me. It's not even related most of the time, right? So what people feel inside them, if they feel bad, they share a negative vibe, okay? If people feel good about themselves, they share something pleasant, right? So it is very easy to recognize this, right? Okay, let me just say hi, hello. What size the wedding ring? That's an interesting question. Okay, next. I'm talking about erotica, so let's just discuss erotic photo shoots. What's for dinner? I'm just saying, someone is talking about erotica, but you see, everyone is talking about themselves, right? And when I read out the chat, I just see who is online. So someone is thinking about food. Rise and shine, it's a new day, and new blessings and new beginnings. Here we go. We can have a very positive mindset here. Hello, lovely woman. Purple. You see, purple was my favorite color for a very, very long time. Still is. Okay. I have a BBC message. BBC relates to erotic fantasy, so that's the right message. Okay, erotic fantasies. This is something what is very popular with individuals and especially with couples. Okay, and when was the last time you bite a pillow? When was the last time I bite a pillow? Okay. I love it. Okay, beautiful goddess. I want. They had to get. You are beautiful. Okay, good morning. God bless. God bless you. Why you are so beautiful? Polska. No, not Polska. Not Polska, but I understand Polish. I understand Polish. When I was a child, I learned Polish language. I learned Polish language, so I understand. Where are you from? I am from Lithuania. Every life I am introducing, and this is the question people asking me, smoking hot. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm from Lithuania. Okay, so 5 more messages. Let me quickly talk too much. Okay, someone is coming to my life, to my channel, okay, and telling me that I talk too much, right? This is not the place for you. You can leave. Good morning. This is not the morning. Okay, in London it's lunchtime. Okay, lunchtime. Right. Okay, so just a quick reminder, this life was about being yourself and being you. Okay, that's the biggest struggle during erotic photo shoot. Being you. You would probably think that the biggest struggle is undress or create erotic scenarios. No. When we discuss, people are quite brave to go and create different kind of scenarios and erotic adventures, but from what side is participating? Who is creating? Is it them or is it someone else? Okay, is it someone pretending there and playing out and acting out the scenes, right? Because when we invite models, right? Sometimes we ask them, okay, to play out a certain roles, right? There are fetish and BDSM adventures, right? When there is a person who is going into the role of dominatrix, right? That's not a normal lifestyle, a normal life, of a person. They are acting and they're pretending, okay? This is like a performance, right? So erotic photo shoot for many people, for many individuals, it's a performance, and not necessarily in that performance they meet themselves, okay? Very often in the performance they want to try many different roles, okay? And there are different roles available depending on their mental state, right? There are alter egos that live inside your mental state and are aware, okay? And some people are aware that they have certain kinks, okay? This is alter ego, or certain likes or certain obsessions even towards erotic fantasies. These are all alter egos, okay, coming out to play, and I am happy to shoot them, okay? I'm happy to shoot them as long as as they know that they are being themselves, okay, during that photo shoot. Right, let me finish today's live, because today I've discussed about being yourself, and that's the hardest thing for many people when they're doing erotic photography, because they have been programmed to be someone else. They, from the childhood, they're trying to get an improvement. They're trying to be nice, they're trying to be good, okay? When you are a child, you see, you have parents to please, and this state stays, okay? You grow out of it, right? But that state of you still want to be nice and good for other people, please, and so on, that's another, indication that you are not being yourself, you see? So there are many ways how to do it. Yesterday, I was here on live, and I was talking about single, lonely people. Erotica should stimulate adults and challenge them and motivate them to connect with the opposite sex, female, or male. Because what happens is that there is a lot of entertainment going on, okay? And I mean about adult business, and I mean about porn, right? And people living or reliving their climax and amazing moments being alone by themselves. There is no one even to touch, okay? And that's and that's our life going forward, and especially when now we have AI girlfriends coming, right? People will be doing even less action, right? Less action, okay? Less things to do, right? So there is a big thing, loneliness, okay? It's huge, right? It's huge, and this is something what I want to terminate, because we're not supposed to be alone. We're supposed to be with the loved one. It's all about love. In my work, in my videos, I speak about erotic photography, and I mention love, okay? Because love is the biggest energy resource. You see, love, where we express ourselves as sexual beings, okay? Love is, of course, has a different sections. One section of love is care and trust, okay? And another section of love, of course, is a desire and a passion, okay? Doing risky things and experimenting. That's where erotica goes, into that section, okay? And this being left out and forgotten, right? So couples very often do the first part, which is, caring for each other, right? Looking after each other, which is love, right? But then another part, okay, usually is forgotten, right? Or fades out with the years, and people stop understanding what they should do as a sexual beings, how they should move on, how they build their intimacy, how they deepen their connection, okay? How many levels there for them, with their partners, playing different games. You reach different levels, right? So that's where I want to be useful, discussing about erotica, practicing erotica, and of course telling the public about this, what's happening, right? Because erotica is the feeling when you're free, is the feeling when you should be you, okay? Erotica, when I see erotica kicks in, right? When I had a plan, for example, with the couple, okay? And we start shooting, and couple change the plan completely. That's when erotic, that's their fantasy kicks in, that's their intuition kicks in, okay? They change the plan completely, they find the new way how to enjoy, to reach the climax. That's the erotica, okay? Doing risky things, trying things, despite that Julia said that we are doing this set, for example, starting here, then you meet there, then we do this and this and so on, and we're shooting the setting, right? Erotica, it's rebellion energy, okay? It's not listening to Julia, right? Or starting in and then doing your way. That's the erotica. Okay, when people create through their energy, okay, because everyone is so unique and have a different energy and a different coding that I would say no one should listen to anyone but themselves, okay, because all information is in you. It just, people cannot reach it, cannot extract it from the body and from the mind, right? And energy resource is endless. We're just wasting it, okay, including me. That's why I'm going step by step and recording this journey of my own, okay, recording journey of my own and see what I get, okay, see what I get. So thank you so much for being with me on this live. Right, let me just say goodbye quickly and answer the last questions what was here. And till the next time, what do you wear? Okay, I wear clothes. Okay, I wear clothes. Right, let me just quickly go down and see. Can I see the outfit, please? Okay, this is not a fashion show. Okay, there are fashion shows going on. You can go to Paris, you can go to London, right? There are fashion shows going on, and there are performing monkeys as well in the zoo, okay? Okay, so that's what's happening, right? Look at you. If I reincarnate, I want to be your bicycle seat. Actually, I just been on the bike. I love riding bike. I live next to the river, okay, and there are a lot of parks here. So I ride the bike. This is something what I like to do, yeah. So bicycle seat is an interesting thing. Okay, I can tell you, because I love topics about death, right? Death is a very interesting process. It shouldn't be scary and it shouldn't be painful. Okay, humans created this way that we are scared to die, and that people think that before death we should be ill or in pain or whatever, something would be wrong with our body or we will be struggling. That's not true. Death is another living system, and it has different chambers. Depending on how you live this world, you will get in a certain chamber, okay, which is very interesting. If you die a few times, you would realize this, okay, depending on your emotional evolution, right? Emotional evolution, you would get into a different chamber, to different level, different dimension, right? So the majority of human would come back to Earth, right? Majority, right? And the others would travel, right? Will travel. Okay, so I've just discussed this, and so let me just say goodbye. Thank you so much. I made myself a goal to be online, right? I don't like talking to people and give my energy and give my time, but I love erotica, okay? So when I focused on live communicating with people, I would not want to go live, right? And I would not want to launch in. But when I think about every day telling and talking about erotica and just explaining at least one thing, okay, one thing, right? Then, you know, for me it's like very easy to go online. So that's how I changed my mindset, not to go online and talk to people, but go online and represent erotica and tell people about being themselves, right? Feeling that energy, being rebellious, right? Changing the codes, changing your information, right? Changing that programming. It's not easy. It's not easy. I'm struggling too. I'm not perfect. Okay, I have my programs running, right? I have my programs running. Everyone does. Okay, everyone does. I've been programmed in USSR. Okay, that's a tough programming out there. right? And now I am based in London, and I do erotic photography, and I'm in adult business for more than 20 years. Okay, so I have a lot of experience and stories to tell, right? And every day I said, more or less, I will come on live and I would speak about erotic and erotic photography. I would speak about things that people are ashamed, okay, scared even to think about taboo topics, right? I would speak about erotic fantasies for individuals and for couples, right? What we create. I would speak about my artwork. And of course, I would want to invite everyone to my public channel on Telegram, okay? Because Julia has an idea to create adult galleries and showcase the artwork where adults can reprogram themselves, right? Like I say, imagery is a coding, invisible coding, right? Art is created to make you feel something and change your energy state, okay? Art created for you to feel something, so that's what I do. I make art, okay? I make art from human flesh. I use people who are feeling sexual energy and performing and reaching certain heights towards sexual energy, a climax, right? Not just doing it, right? I am working on energy. So thank you so much for now, and I hope I see you soon, or at least next time. And I'm inviting you to my Telegram channel. You can find more information, where to log in my previous post. Go to my account profile, and my last post will have some links, right? So thank you so much, and see you there. Bye. Bye. How to switch off? Okay, let me just do it this way. Okay, I'll switch off one. Is there any questions? Look at you. Okay, that was about the seed. Okay, so everyone who joined today, okay, my channel, when you see me next time, you can ask me questions about photography, right? Photography and videos. I create erotica, boudoir, nude, explicit, and make love stories and erotic fantasies, right? Cocktail fantasy and threesome fantasy are most popular with couples. Okay, so that's what I do, and that's what I talk about, right? So when next time you see my face, that's exactly what you are going to hear, and you can ask me questions. Simple as that. And now for sure, goodbye. Yes, yes.